Amy, thanks for joining us. Boring question at this time of year. How's pre-season training going?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been tough, don't get me wrong, but it's been great to be back in with the girls and stuff. And now the games are getting closer. All eyes are on them, and we're really excited to get playing some games now.
An interesting first year in the first team squad last year. How would you sum up 2023?
Yeah, it was a really fun season. We achieved obviously the Challenge Cup at Wembley, which I think was definitely our main goal for the season, and that was an incredible experience. And obviously, we fell short in that semi final last year, which was really tough. But obviously, we've looked at that now and then, but tried to work on stuff that we needed to improve on over this pre-season, and ready to get going for the new year.
That road to Wembley, the semi-final with the drop goal to win it. What was that feeling like to actually get to Wembley in the first place?
Oh, it was honestly incredible. Like the game against York was so tough. It was like a washing machine at times in that middle, just set for set. And obviously, when Faye got that drop goal, it was just amazing. Like, and because the crowd started coming in for the men's game after us, we had them Saints fans cheering us behind us. It was honestly probably my favourite game I've played in.
When you got to Wembley, then what were your first thoughts walking out on at the stadium the day before when it's all empty and there's just no one there apart from yourselves?
Yeah, I think it was quite surreal to be honest. I think it was at that moment when it actually like set in that we were going to be playing here tomorrow, and um, it was amazing to go the day before with the girls and kind of even though there wasn't nobody in the stadium to kind of soak in like the atmosphere of what we were going to be doing the next day. Yeah, it was a really good experience.
I've been there when it's empty, and obviously I didn't have to play there the next day. And you look up and you realise how big the stadium is. How do you deal with the fact that you are playing at such a big venue, such a famous venue, and try and put that out of your mind?
Yeah, I think before the game, I think there was a lot of nerves, but as soon as the game kicks off, the nerves kind of go out the window because you're just concentrating on the game. You don't really have time to be nervous anymore when there's so much stuff going on the pitch. So as soon as it kicks off, you kind of just focus on the game and ready to go.
So the first time you step up for that conversion for Tara Jones, just try to you not think about anything else other than just getting that ball between the H's.
Yeah, to be honest, the first kick, I did realise how tall the posts were. They're ridiculously big compared to the other stadiums. But yeah, I was just kind of just focused on the game, really, in the swing of the game.
Coming into the squad as well, taking over the goal kicking role, how difficult was that? Because obviously that's an important part of any rugby league team.
Yeah, but it's something I really enjoy doing. I've goal kicked all when I was younger, playing for Fataweef and stuff, and it's something that I've practiced a lot. And it's something that I take a lot of pride in doing, to be honest, because I think it's a really important part of the game. If I can add them 2 points onto a try, it could really make the difference in the end. So yeah, it's something I practice a lot, and I think it's really important.
How did you get involved in rugby league in the first place then?
So I first started playing at school. I always played football when I was a kid, and I always watched Saints Men, but I never really thought about taking part. Then when I went to high school, my teacher was a big rugby fan, so I started playing then, and she convinced me to go to a local team. Um, and I've never looked back really since. I absolutely loved it.
You didn't fancy sticking with football then? It was rugby league
No,
all the way as soon as you started
as soon as
playing.
yeah, as soon as I started rugby, I just loved it so much, and I loved the team spirit and the playing with the girls every week, and soon forgot about the football.
You mentioned obviously Wembley, a great highlight last year, but obviously disappointment losing in the semi-finals. What have you
Yeah,
been doing to go that extra this year?
yeah, it was a really tough loss to take, but I think one of our main focuses has been like the small details and trying to put that consistent performance in across the whole game. I think generally in a lot of the games we played well for a good 60 minutes of the game, but maybe at times we just let ourselves down in key moments. So I think that's going to be a big focus for us for the next year.
Coming into a team where obviously you mentioned your goal kicking as well, but you're coming into a side full of superstar players in the women's game, the likes of Jodie Cunningham and Emily Rudge, who everyone knows. What was it like as a young player coming into that kind of team?
It was quite daunting at first, but as soon as I started training and stuff, the girls were so supportive. Like, it's amazing to be in a team with so many England internationals and experienced players because you can just learn so much of them. It's like a sponge, absorbing everything they said, and they're really willing to help, like younger players coming through. So they really made it feel easy to join in. Really,
We got hopes for an England call up in the future then to get that England shirt on.
yeah. I think it's everybody's dream, really. Um, Especially watching the World Cup a couple of years ago. I went to a few of them games watching the teammates, and the atmosphere was already amazing. So it's but it could be brilliant to see what it's like in the future, and that's definitely something I'd like to be part of.
You mentioned the atmosphere at the England games, but the atmosphere is building at domestic games as well, not just the finals, but Saints games being played at the Totally Wicked Stadium. How important is that you are playing at the same stadium as the men?
Oh yeah, it's a really brilliant thing that we get to play at the Totally Wicked. It definitely feels like our home, and we get a really good, solid set of supporters in every week that really do cheer us on from the crowd, and especially in the big games, if you can hear the crowd, getting behind you, it does give you that little bit of an extra boost and that little bit more energy.
Saints fan, you must enjoy the derbies against Wigan.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think that's such an iconic game in rugby league, isn't it? Saints versus Wigan, and I have a lot of friends who play for Wigan as well, who I've played like community rugby with, and there's always that bit of extra bite in them games playing against your mates, isn't there?
And they seem to be a team who on the improve as well. So it's good to see more teams who can challenge at the top end of the table as well.
Yeah, definitely. We know when we play Wigan, it's always going to be a tough game. They're very solid defensively, and they run at you hard and they tackle you hard. So it's about like sticking in them games and getting in that arm wrestle.
Looking at the season as a whole, then you've got to catch up with York. Leeds obviously in a couple of finals last year. Is there a lot of confidence in the Saints camp going into the season?
Yeah, I think so. Don't get me wrong. We know York, Leeds, and Wigan are really tough teams, and if you're not at your best on them days, then you're probably going to fall short. But we have a lot of confidence in our group. We know that we've got a lot of experienced girls, and we've also got a lot of youth coming through now, and it's about getting that balance right. And like I said before, if we can put that 80-minute performance together, we do believe that like we've got a good chance to beat these type of teams.
I'm glad you mentioned you because it's reminding me. I was going to ask you because obviously you're in a good position to tell me, having just come through the academy system. Who are the young players at Saints who we should be looking out for, just to put you on the spot and see if you can forget anyone?
Well, the first person that comes to mind was Berry Salihi, who we've signed this season from Wigan. She was originally at our under-19s, but we lost her to Wigan, and now we've managed to get her back. I've played a lot of my youth rugby with Berry, and she's a real top talent. Very young, very fast, very dynamic, and I'm really looking forward to playing on the same team with her this year in Super League. I definitely think she's one to watch.
The thing that everyone asks everyone in women's rugby league now is about Australia and the NRLW. Do you watch much of the competition? Do you have any ambitions to play out there one day?
Yeah, it's something I really enjoy watching. I like watching everything about rugby, to be honest. Anything that's on, I'm probably watching. I think it's really good that we had some of our English girls go over and challenge themselves at that level, and it's something that is a really exciting opportunity for anybody that gets the opportunity. Really.
We're obviously not full-time professionals in women's rugby league at the minute. What do you do outside of rugby league? Do you have a life
Um,
outside rugby league?
yeah, so I'm currently a student. I go to Edgehill University, so I'm studying sports science there. So um, do that during the day and then go over to training on a night.
Is it hard to balance everything then? Because obviously you have plenty of work to do, work to do outside of the university as well.
Yeah, it can be hard sometimes, and sometimes if you've had a really bad day at uni or work for the other girls, and sometimes the last thing you want to do is go to training, to be honest. But we've got a really good environment at Saints that we all pick each other up, and if somebody's having a down day or tough session, then there's lots of support around. So it's definitely the team that gets you through them tough training sessions.
Where does a degree in sports science lead you then after university?
I'm not quite 100% sure yet. There's lots of things that I could potentially do, but I'm only in my second year at the minute, so I'm just not really thinking about that at the minute. Just focusing on the rugby.
That's fair enough. I didn't have a clue what I was going to do after my degree either.
Yeah.
So everything's looking good at Saints. Everything's looking good for yourself. How are you looking forward to the season as a whole? Because obviously the women's game, it's growing. There's games on the radio this year. There's games on TV. We're not going to be able to escape from women's rugby league in 2024.
I know, and that's really exciting, isn't it? I think we all play rugby league for the games, don't we? And the pre-season training and the hard graft, it's for the games. And the fact that they're around the corner now, we have a friendly against Huddersfield next weekend. I'm just excited to actually play now. All that training and stuff, but like the standard's just getting better every year in the women's game, and now that we have more teams in the WSL1, it's really exciting that we're going to be able to play different teams, and hopefully the standard will just keep improving year on year.
Going back to Wembley finally, obviously you win, you pick up the trophy, celebrations afterwards. I guess that's the kind of thing that makes everything you do beforehand worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely. You obviously set them goals in pre-season, and us obviously winning at Wembley was a massive achievement for us and to be the first team. But now that we've done it once, we want to get back there. Like we've got to experience that the whole day and the whole weekend with the team. It's now almost like we want to go and do it again. It's not good enough if we don't do it again now. We want to get that feeling. Do you know what I mean?
I wish I did, but unfortunately, I was no good as a rugby player to play at Wembley. Well, I mean, I played in the Schools Cup final, but I wasn't even good enough in that. Amy, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck for the season. Enjoy the first game, that friendly against Huddersfield, and fingers crossed we'll see you in more finals this year.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thank you.